One last question. If you could do a prediction for where magic, but also especially mentalism, will go in the next future, what do you see in your crystal ball? Exactly.
I don't know. I think we're at a really contentious point for mentalism. I think technology is becoming so advanced in everyday life and becoming so easily accessible that mentalism itself requires a real re-examination of the modes in which it's accomplished. So maybe we need to shift our attention away from simply knowing the information and start thinking about why that matters. Ultimately, my goal is to create mentalism that even if the audience could also read minds, they would still want to watch. In the same way as we can appreciate a singer not only for their technical ability, but for the emotion that they bring to the song, the ideas that they inspire in us when we hear it. I want that same level. So it's not easy, and it's certainly I've not achieved that. I'm still working towards that. But my goal is to make it that the show would be interesting, even if everybody in the world had this power to know somebody else's thought.
Yeah, and okay, and just as you were talking, this other thing came to my mind, which is how can we involve more the skeptics? There is now at this moment, also in Italy, I think in the UK and everywhere else, this thing about explaining the secrets of magic, because the skeptics, they want to be sure that people do not believe in, they have false, hopes or beliefs in the supernatural, and there are books explaining the magic techniques for the lay audience. So how can we involve more the skeptics in what we do, or appreciating what we do without explaining?
It's such a big question.
Yeah.
I think a big part or a big problem with the world of the mentalist, the skeptic, and the magician, because there are three different things here, is a lack of communication. I think many magicians decide to become the skeptical voice, and they choose to explain things, frankly, because it's an easy way for them to get attention. Many magicians, I feel, do this. It's very easy for them to get the attention of an audience if they say, "Let me tell you the truth." Now, for some people, that is their genuine artistic vision, and that's fine. You have every right to express that vision. But sometimes I wonder whether the decision to do that is through the artistic vision or through a shortcut to becoming popular. So really examining why this exists is important. Secondly, I believe that often the mentalists themselves aren't necessarily equipped to engage with the skeptic, because the skeptical guys that are really passionate about their area aren't really interested in debunking performers. They're interested in debunking the psychic surgeons who are taking money from someone for false hope of an extended life. They're not interested in debunking a guy that's entertaining an audience, but the line becomes blurred in their mind because there's no easy dialogue between the pair, because the mentalist instantly sees the skeptic as the enemy. Whereas often they are incredibly close on many points. Yeah. And I think just a really open and frank dialogue is required from the role of the mentalist. But equally, from the role of the skeptic, there needs to be a less militant perspective on things. Yes. Not everything is negative. I think that personally, for me, the feeling of not knowing, and if you can inspire that in an audience, that's incredibly powerful. And that in and of itself is not unethical. It's the intent with which the performer presents the information and the art. If he's walking into the room with the intention of, you know, knowingly defrauding people by pretending he can talk to the dead, then I would agree that that is a negative intent. But if he's walking in the room and choosing to use these ideas as the canvas on which his artistic expression will be portrayed, then that's for a different reason and carries different intent.
Yeah. So it is important to have a middle ground, and it's also have an artistic vision for the performer. Okay. Luke, thanks you so much. Thank you for this interview. It has been very rich in content, and so we thank Luke Jermay for attending with us, participating in the meeting at Saint Vincent. Grazie a tutti.